Hi, Mickey here from Flipping Spain. I wanted to make a quick video to explain how it is that I'm able to move to Spain. So, I found this program called NALCAP, which is the North American Language and Cultural Assistant Program. Now, anyone from age 18 to age 60 can participate in this program, and basically you get paid to live in Spain and be a language assistant. You're not teaching, but you're in school classrooms as a representative of how to speak the language natively and your home country's culture. It's not competitive, although this year they did have over 10,000 applicants, so maybe not everyone will get placed this year, but as long as you get your application in early and you're within the first 8,000, you should be in. You just have to meet a few requirements, which you can see on the website here. And there are private programs you can apply through as well, although those charge a fee for you to apply. But if you want to be guaranteed a spot or you want some other perks that they offer, then that's a great way to go. So my first question was, how on earth did I not know about this? I do a lot of research on how to live abroad because I've been looking for ways to do it for years. But someone recommended a Facebook group called She Hit Refresh, which is geared at women who want to move abroad later in life. There's a lot of great information there, but in particular, they mentioned this program, and I thought, well, it's free, and I can get paid, and I can get a visa, so I'm going to apply. If you want to learn more about the NALCAP program, there are all sorts of Facebook pages. You can see here there's an official one. There are ones for each region once you know where you're going to be placed. There are tons of blogs that talk about the program and people's experiences, as well as this one, which is the one I used to actually change my pick. You get to pick 3 different regions and put them in order, and then you kind of hope that you get placed in one of those. And I had totally different regions until I started reading about different areas, and I heard about La Rioja. It's less touristy, and it's a wine region, so there's that. Anyway, there are tons of resources. There are even Facebook groups there's the Auxiliares de Convergación for the queers amongst us, and then there is one for people 30 and over. There's all sorts of different groups. So it's also just I'm hoping it'll be a great community once I actually get to Spain. So why do this program? Well, I've looked into other routes, as I said, digital nomad visas. I don't have a portable digital nomad type job. I've looked into non-lucrative visas, which are sort of retirement visas. There are those in a number of countries, Portugal, Spain, and France, for example, but I'm not actually officially retired and I don't have an official pension coming in, so I don't really qualify for those yet. And this gets me legally living in Europe, in a country where I'm not learning a language from scratch, which was one of my key factors. And it's only part-time, so I have time for my real estate side hustle, which hopefully will become my real estate full-time hustle. It meets goal number 1. We've talked about the importance of having goals and referencing those when you're making decisions, and it meets my goal number 1, which is to own my own home outright. Sure, there are places in Spain where you can spend plenty of money on property, but the area where I'm going to be, and in most areas, there's usually something that's pretty affordable by U.S. standards, if not by many Western country standards at this point. And goal number 2 is that it will generate me money and it will cover my costs. So my idea is just to buy a multi-room, either apartment or house, and rent the other rooms out to other people in the program, because every year there are thousands and thousands of people applying for these programs, and they sometimes have difficulty finding places to rent because as a foreigner, it's a little more challenging. People ask a little more of you, and I've been through that myself, so I understand. So it's kind of similar to one of the strategies people use in the U.S. of renting to travel nurses. So I just plan on renting to auxiliares. We'll see how that goes. The great thing about the program is it is renewable. They do have put a cap on it, so you can only do it for 5 years in a row. But if you live and work in Spain for 5 years, that puts you on a very clear path to applying for permanent residency. So it moves me towards my goal of living in Europe full-time, long-term, without having to start all over again like I'm doing right now. So where I'm at right now, I'm just in the middle of the waiting game. The process is a great introduction to Spanish bureaucracy and very undefined timelines. So the application happens sometime between January and March, and then you wait, and then you find out if you've submitted all the things you need to in your application, and then you wait, and then you find out what region you've been placed in. and then you wait some more, and you find out what school you're at. Then you can apply for your visa, and then, of course, you wait a little bit. So hopefully, because of the way I've done things, I got my application in early. I'm actually applying from New Zealand, which is less busy than applying from some of the consulates in the US or other places, I imagine. So I'm hoping that I'll have my visa and be able to move by September at the latest, but who knows? So in the meantime, I will continue doing my research, and I'm going to make some videos about the fun parts coming up, doing property research from afar and things like that. One of the key things that happened this week was I found out what school I was going to be in, and I was just assuming I would be based in one of the main cities. There's only a couple main cities in La Rioja, and I am not. I am based in the farthest corner away from those places as I could be. So that raises some interesting questions about my investment strategy. So I will talk more about those in my property research video and my challenges video. And but the great thing is I've already tapped into some of these groups and chatted with people who worked in schools in that area and live in La Rioja and had some advice on commuting and where to live and so on. So I will be taking full advantage of that. Tune into the next video where I start talking about some of the challenges I'm anticipating facing, one of which could be a very long commute. All right, thanks for watching. See ya.